I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This video series, which is part of my online music academy, specifically accompanies Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 from my Method Book series. Like all my books, this selection is available to purchase through Amazon and Google Play. For help, see the links in the description below. In the videos which are part of this specific course, I progress through the lessons in Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2, explaining and demonstrating concepts and playing each of the songs and exercises contained therein, so you can hear how they sound and play them right along with me. You are of course welcome to view these videos with or without the book, but with the book you can work through all the songs and exercises, and in the process learn all the various types of chords used to play music on the guitar and master your chord playing abilities. Alright, let's get to jamming in this lesson. Okay, so here we are on page 90 with this new section, bass note runs. This interrelates with the last couple sections where we've been doing strumming patterns that have bass note plucks or bass and alternate bass plucks. I've kept these same two, Q and R, up here because we're going to continue using them from the last section. And we're going to be inserting these bass note runs. Now this is really cool stuff. This is really fun, I think. So we'll take a look at page 90. You've got several here, 12 actually, different ones, 12 different extremely common ones. From these you could devise others, but these are some of the most common runs between some of the most common chord changes. So if we look at number 1, we're going to have A and up to D. So first of all, a little bit of how this works. We've got it written in notation on one part, the top part, and then below it it's written in tablature. So if you really want to learn how to read notes and do tablature, then you want to check out the note reading books within the Method series and the tablature books within the Method series. But I'm going to just kind of do a quick explanation with the tabs, and since I'll be helping you learn to play these anyway, it won't be too involved. So where you see the slash mark, or I should say the rhythmic notation type note on there, we're just going to insert a down strum. Or you could insert a down up. So where you see that rhythmic quarter note, those are places where we're just going to insert the down strum or a down up. Either one. This one or this one, whichever you want to do. And then the notes that are actually written out happen to be the bass notes. It's just that they're tabbed out there. And so, or they're written in notation. So the way the tablature works is it's like our tab diagrams turned sideways. There's 6 strings, and the highest string or highest line on that is the highest string. The next highest goes down one below. Next highest is the next, and so on. So the lowest line equals the lowest sounding string. The numbers tell us what fret to play. So 0 is no fret, just open. And then 1 would be fret 1, 2, 3, 4. So as we're looking at number 1 there, we have this A chord, and we also see those chords written clear above the written notation. So on the top, and this is going to be practicing from A to D. So we'd have the bass pluck on A, then the strum, and then 2, 4, open. And then we're plucking that D chord. So again, on that number 1 from A to D, we go pluck the bass, strum, and then on the 5th string 2, 4, and then open D for the D chord, and then we're doing a strum. Let's do that again. Pluck, strum, 2, 4, D, and A, strum, 2, 4, D, strum. Let's do that again. A, 2, 4, D, again, and A, 2, 4, D, again, and A, 2, 4, D. So A, strum, 2, 4, D, strum. A, 2, 4, D, again. A, 2, 4, D, again, and A, 2, 4, D. Let's take a look now at number 4. It goes back from D to A, so it's the opposite. We see the open pluck on the 4th string strum, and then on the 5th string 4, 2, open, strum for the A chord. So you got D, strum, 4, 2, open for the A. D, 4, 2, open. Again, and D, 4, 2, A chord. And we go D, strum, 4, 2, A. Again, and D, 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 4, 2, A. Okay, let's practice going back and forth between A and D. So we're going to have A strum up to D strum. We'll insert an extra measure on each one of these so that we have time to play each chord before going to the next one. So I'm inserting a bar of this, and then I'm playing number 1. Then I'm inserting a bar of this for the D chord and playing number 4, and back and forth and back and forth. So here, join with me. Here we go. And I'm also using the high to low to high to low alternation with Q. So A, lower. You can do either one, it doesn't matter, but I'm going high to low on those alternating bass notes. So here you go. 2, 1, 2, ready. And we got a bar of A, and then we're gonna walk up to D, back to A, 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 up to D. Now I'm going to do R, so A, up to D, back to A, up to D, back to A, back to D, back to A, up to D. Okay, so now let's look at numbers 2, where I'm going to go from A to E. You're going to notice that from A to E, it's awfully similar as going from D to A. So A, we have the bass, strum, and then 4, 2, open on the 6th string. Bass, strum for the A, 4, 2, E. So again, A, 4, 2, E. Again, A, 4, 2, E. Again, A, strum, 4, 2, E. Again, and A, 4, 2, E. Again, and A, 4, 2, E. A, 4, 2, E. Let's look at number 5 now. We're going to go opposite. We're going to go from E to A. So we have the E chord, and then 2, 4, up to A. So they really are similar. E, 2, 4, A. And E, 2, 4, A. And E, 2, dropping on the 6th string, up to A, again, and E, up to A, again, and E, up to A, again, and E, up to A, E, up to A. Okay, let's go back and forth between E and A the way we did between A and D. We're going to use the same strumming pattern, inserting a bar of this before each one. So we're going to have A, then to E, up to A. For the A, I'm going to use the high to low bass alterations, so 5th string to 6th string. Here you go, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and we got A, back to E, up to A, down to E, up to A, back to E, then to A, back to E, up 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 to A. Okay, now I'm going to do it with R. 1, 2, ready, and A, down to E, back to A, back to E, up to A, down to E, then to A, back to E, up to A, down to E, then to A, back to E, up to A, back to E, up to A. Okay, let's flip over to page 94, number 11. This gives us a chance to practice both of these runs in context from going A to D, A, and E7. E7 has the same run from E to A and A to E7 as it does from A to E and E to A. So we'll play E7 here, but it's got the same run. We're going to do each chord as if it was 2 measures, so we have time to go A, E, A, up to D, back to A, and then to the E7, back to A, up to D. Now we don't have a D to E7, but we can use the same lead into E7 as we do from going from A to E7 when we get to the end there. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and A, up to D, back to A, then to E7, up to A, then to D, to E7, back to A. Now let's do it with R. Bass, alternating those with that down up. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, and A, up to D, back to A, to E7, back to A, up to D, to E7, back to A. Kind of fun. Okay, so then let's flip back now. We're back to page 90. And let's look at a couple more of these. So let's look at going from E to B7, so number 3. For this one, it's kind of interesting because we're going to go bass, strum, and then we're going to jump higher to come down to the B7. So we're going to have the open strum for the E chord, and then index on the 4th string, not the 3rd as I had played that, 4th fret of the 5th string, and then we catch the root 2nd fret for the B. And I'm going to go lower on this one, though you wouldn't have to. You could alternate with the 3rd, but I'm going to do it lower. So we're going to go E strum 1 4 to the B7. Again, E 1 4 B. And again, E to the B. And here we go again, E to the B. Again, we got E to the B. And again, E to the B. Here we go again, E to the B7. One more time, E to the B7. Okay, so now if we look at number 6 on page 90, the B7 going to the E. The B7 to the E should be easy because it's the same move that we used for going from A to E. So, 4-2 open. So I've got the B7 strum and then 4-2 open on that 6th string. So B7, and then we'd be 4-2 E. So we're going to have B7, 4-2 E, B7, 4-2 E, again, B7, 4-2 E, again, and B7, 4-2 E, again, and B7, 4-2 E, again, and B7, 4-2 E. Let's put 3 and 6 together, go back and forth between E and B7. So we're going to do this same way we did before using pattern Q. Insert an extra measure of each chord in there. So we'll have E and then to the B7 to the E. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, I want to ready and E to B7. B7 to the E, to B7 to the E, to B7 to the E, to B7, little hesitation there, sorry, to the E, to B7 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 to the E. Let's do it with R now. E to B7, back to E, to B7 to the E, to B7 to the E, to B7, back to E, to B7, then to E, to B7, then to E, to B7, then to E, let's flip over now to page 94, and we're going to do number 10. So we have already practiced going from E to A and A to E. We haven't done A to B7, but we can do the same. We can do that same run that we use from E to B7. So we can go 1, 4 to the B7. So that's what we'll do when we get to that spot. Again, we'll make each one a little longer. So we're going to have E, A, and up to A, then back to E, to B7, back to E, up to A, to B7, that's how we'll do that one. Here we go. We'll do it first with Q, even though I just demonstrated it with R. So 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and E, up to A, back to E, to B7, back to E, up to A, 7, back to E. Now let's do it with R. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and E, up to A, back to E, to B7, back to E, up to A, to B7, and back to E. Kind of fun. Okay, now let's flip back over to page 90. If we look at number 7, number 7 gets us from D to G. So we're going to do this bass strum for D, and then written there in tabs and in the notation we have O, 2, 3 on the 6th string, so bringing us 0, 2, 3 up to that G bass strum. So 0, 2, 3. So if I go D strum, 0, 2, G strum again, and D, 0, 2, G again, and D, 0, 2, G again, and D, 0, 2, 3 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 again, and D, 0, 2, 3. Now let's look at number 10. We're going to go from G to D. So we got the bass strum on G, and then we're going to go 4, 2, open on that D string. So the 4th string, 4, 2, open for the D. So you're going to have G strum, 4, 2, D strum again, and G strum, 4, 2, D strum again, and G strum, 4, 2, D strum again, and G, 4, 2, D 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 again, and G, 4, 2, D. Let's go back and forth now between D and G. So using Q, we're going to insert that extra bar. So D. With this one, I should say, you could use either. We've done a lot of high to low, so I think on this one, I'm just going to pluck the bass and then take the next one. So I wouldn't necessarily always do it this way, but I'm going to go 4th string to 3rd string for the D, alternating. And for the G, I'm going to use 6th string to 5. So I'm going to use that third in there as the alternating bass. So we're going to have D, up to G, and then back to D, up to G. Just changing up the way we've been practicing it so we get a little bit of practice doing it both ways. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, 2, ready, go. That was a really funny count off, sorry. 1, 2, ready, and D, then to G, back to 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 D, this time I'll do R, D, then to G, back to D, then to G, back to D, then to G, back to D, then to G, then to D. Okay, we've got that one. Now let's look at number 8. So we're going to go from C to G. You're going to have the bass pluck for the C chord. So 3rd fret, 5th string, bass pluck, and then 2 open on the 5th string down to the G pluck. So the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So you're going to have C pluck, 2 open, G pluck again, and C. C strum, 2 open, G strum again, and C, 2 O, G again, and C, 2 O, G again, and C, 2 open, G again, and C, 2 O, G. Great, let's look at number 11. We're going to go the other way, G strum back to C. So it's kind of just in reverse there. So on number 11, I got that bass strum for the G chord, so 3rd fret, 6th string, bass strum, and then open 2, 3 on the 5th string strum. So G, up to C, again, and G, O, 2, 3, strum again, and G, strum, O, 2, C, again, and G, O, 2, C. We're going to practice going back and forth between 8 and 11, so the C and the G chord. And so we're going to have C strum down to G strum. We'll insert 1 bar of Q for each chord before we do that. So C. On this one, I'm going to practice doing the lower C down to G. And I'm going to use the 6th and the 4th strings for the alternating bass. That's just one way I could do it. I could make any of those combinations of the other ones. Depending on the song, I might like one versus another, but that's the way I'm going to do it for this one right now. So you got 1, 2, ready, and C strum down to G, back to C, down to G, up to C, down to G, up to C, back to G, up to C, down to G, up to C, down to G, back to C, sometimes in there I use the G alternate bass up to the third, so 6 to 5. They both work nicely. They're both great. Okay, let's do R with that. There you go. 1, 2, ready, and C. Down to G. Back to C. Down to G. Up to C. Back to G. Up to C. Down to G. Up to C. Back 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 to G. Up to C. Okay, so now we'll look at number 9 and 12. Numbers 9 and 12 on page 90. We're going to practice going from C to F. C to F is going to resemble G to C. So let's look at number 9. We're going to have the C chord strum, and our bass is at that 3rd fret of the 5th string. So bass, strum, and then O, 2, 3 on the 4th string. So C, up to F. C, O, 2, 3 on the 4th string. Again, C, O, 2, 3, strum. Again, and C, O, 2, 3. 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 Okay, let's look at going the other way. So from F back to C. So this is number 12. We got F, strum, 2, open, C, strum. F, 2, open on the 4th string, and then we hit that 3rd fret on the 5th string for the C chord. So we got F, down to C. Again, and F, down to C. Again, and F, down to C. Again, and F, down to C. So let's combine the two together with Q. On this one, I'm going to use the going to the lower. So C, up to F, and use the lower one on there, back to C. So here you go. 1, 2, ready, and C. Up to F. Back to 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 C. Up to F. Now I'm going to do R. So C. Up to F. Back to 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 C. Up to course, those would also be great with the alternating bass going from 5, 4, so to the 3rd. Maybe even a little bit of the hammer on. Okay, so let's go over to page 94 now. We're going to practice exercises 12, 13, and 14 using these and some of the other ones that we've done. So with D to G, you'll recall we got the bass pluck and then open 2, 3 for the G. So we're going to have D to G on number 12. And when we go back to D, it's 4, 2, open on that D. So D to open 2, 3 for the to the G, and then 4, 2, open to the D. Going from D to A7 is the same as D to A, so we're going to go 4, 2, open on the A. Same going to the D, and then to the G, to the A7. From G to A7, we can use the same trick that we would use from going from D to A7. So 4, 2, open, and then we can go back to D. So we use Q first. On the D's and the A's, I'm going to go from high to low on the alternating bass, and then through the G, I'm going to skip from 6 to 4. So here you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and D. Oh, and I should mention, like before with numbers 10 and 11, I'm going to make each chord last twice as long, so 2 bars for each chord. So you probably already assumed that, but there you go. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and D. To the G. Back to D. To A7, back to D, to the G, then to A7, back to D. Let's do it with R now. So D, there you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and D. The G, back to D, to A7, up to D, to the G, to A7, back to D. Okay, let's look at number 13 now. Practice going G to C and D7. So G, you recall, bass, pluck, 2, 3 for C to G. Back to G is just the opposite. When we want to go from G to D7, it's the same as G to D. So 4, 2, open on the 4th string. And then when we want to go from D to G, D7 to G, we can go that 2, 3. Another one that would work is to use essentially the same thing that happens from G to C, which is, and just use D, the D7, and then 2, open G. That's another one that you could use, but we'll use the one that we've been using, D7, so you could 2, open G. But we'll use D7, 2, 3. So we'll use the one we've already been using. And then from C to D7, we don't have one for that, but we can use the same trick that we used from going from G to D7. So we can go C, 4, 2, D7, and then back to G, open 2, 3, throwing in that other option. You get used to these and you start to interchange a couple of little tricks. From G to C, I'm going to use the alternating bass. I'm just going to take the next highest one. So from G, it's going to be the root to the 3rd. From C, it's going to be the root to the 3rd, 5, 4, 5, 4. And from D7, open to 3. And that one is the 5th, but we're taking the low to the high option here. So there you go, G. And we'll do Q first. 2 bars per chord. 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, and G, up to C, back to G, then to D7, back to G, up to C, to D7, then to G. Alright, now we're going to do with R. So G, right there. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and G, up to C, back to G, to D7, back to G, up to C, to D7, back to G. Threw in a little extra note there, which is kind of fun. This is a great key for this sort of thing. Let's try it just a little bit faster. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and G, up to C, back to G, to D7, back to G, up to C, to D7, back to G. Got a little alterations that didn't quite work perfectly, but when playing those alternating bass notes, hit a couple of strings at the same time. Aim for perfection, but we often slip, don't we? Hopefully it makes you feel good to know that I still don't always get it exactly right. Okay, so number 14 now. We'll do number 14. This is C to F and G7. So C to F goes O, 2, 3, and we remember 2, O, 3. Same thing for those ones. Down to G7, we've got one from C to G. We don't have one from F to G, so we have a couple choices. We can use the same one that we would from C. So F, strum, and then 2, open, G. Or we can use the one that we used from the D. F strum, O, 2, 3. So F, O. I'm going to use the one that we used from C. So I'm going to use that 2, open, G. So F, 2, open, G7. And that's the one that I'm going to use. So we'll start with Q, and for this first time through, I'm going to use the low to the high alternating. So 5, 4, 5, 4 on C, 4 to 3 on F, G7 will be 6 to 3. Okay, so twice per chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and C, up to F, back to C, to G7, back to C, up to F, to G7, back to C. Cool. Okay, so now let's do R. There you go. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and C, up to F, back to C, to G7, up to C, then to F, back to G7, up to C. So I think it's kind of fun. We're throwing that little hammer-on technique. If you're able to. So there you go. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and C, up to F, back to C, down to G7, up to C, do it a little faster if you can. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and C. Up to F. Back to C. To G7. Back to C. Up to F. To G7. Back to C. Okay, so now let's do it again with the chord. Do the high to low. So for C to G, we're gonna go move our finger from our ring finger from 3rd fret to 3rd fret on the 5th and 6th strings. Same thing, 4th to 5th on F, and then from G7 we'll skip 6 to 4, 6 to 4. So we'll take it a little bit slower. We go 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and C. Up to F. Back to C. To G7. Okay, so let's flip to page 89 and start going through some of these songs and progressions. The first will be the challenge of doing number 7 on page 89. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge piece as we're going to be playing a lot of these back to back. So we're going to go from E to A. We already know how to do that. A to B7, there isn't one that we've done. But we can use the same run to B7 that we've used from E to B7, for example. So we can go 1, 4. So we're gonna have E up to A to B7, and we've done that before with our progressions over here on page 94. Then the E to E7, you could do one would like to, 4 to the same lead-ins, or you can just keep playing E7, and then we'll be up to A, D to E. We can use the same one that we would use from A to E7 or A to E. So we can use a lot of these to A7, up to D, to the G. D to G we already have, up to G, and then to the A7, from G to A7, we can use the same thing as D to A7 like we've done on page 94. D, G, C to D7, 4 to D, same as we would do from like G to D7. So we have to use some of those same tricks that we used for ones that we didn't have, or you don't have to use one at all. In music, there's not always a run between everything, but if you wanted to try and throw a run between everything, that's what we do. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and try this using Q, bass, and we'll make each one twice as long so that we get to do that. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and E, up to A, to B7, back to E, to E7, up to A, then to D, to E7, back to A, to A7, up to D, then to G, to A7, to the D, to D7, to the G, up to C, to D7, up to G, up to G7, then to C, up to F, to G7, to G7, back to C, So it's kind of fun. Now I didn't specify which alternating bass plucks I was going to use for each and every one. I don't think I could even remember through a challenge piece like this. So you're welcome to use whichever ones you want. But let's do it one more time and play it with R. So bass down, up, bass down. There you go. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and E. Up to A. To B7. Back to E. To E7. Then to A. Up to D. To E7. Back to A. To A7. Up to D. Then to G. To A7. Up to D. To D7. Then to G. Up to C. To D7. Up to G. Then to G7. Up to C. Up to F. To G7. Back to C. Alright, let's look at a couple songs with these. So that's page 89. Let's go on to page 18. We're going to do number 2, When the Saints Go Marching In. As we strum these, I'm going to let you kind of just decide how you want to pluck them. Whether you'd like to do Q or R, I'll probably be doing R. But whether you want to go high to low on the bass notes or whatnot, you can just kind of decide that and how you're going to do the runs. Now, the runs need to happen 1 bar before a chord change. So anytime we're going to do one, it's got to happen right before the chord change happens. So on this song, D7 doesn't come in until the second line. The run from G to D7, that part, bass strum, 4-2, open, that needs to happen right before, the measure before the change happens. And when you only have a chord lasting for 1 bar, you don't have to throw them in, but you can if you want to. So like the last 4 bars of this song, G, D7, that would be one way to do it. G, or I could just G, D7, G. Either way is completely fine. When you're singing and flat picking at the same time and worrying about chords, a lot of times it's just a little bit more than we have time to think about, and it just kind of happens the way it happens. But on this particular one, I'm going to be going low to high. So you can do it at whatever you like, but I'm going to go 6-5 on G, 5-4 on C, and 4-3 on D, D7, although I might go the other way too. Just kind of let the instincts go however they wish to go. So here we go. 1, 2, I'm going to go about that tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. How I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Super fun, super fun. Okay, let's go to page 31 and we'll do number 6. She'll be coming around the mountain. So we'll practice and going between A and E7 and A and D. We've had lots of these. I particularly will probably use a lot of high to low alternate plucking, but you can do whatever you like to, whatever you want on this one. So she'll be coming around the mountain. She comes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yeah, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. And we'll all go out to meet her. No, you want to just sing all those other verses. Let's do Tom Dooley now. So you go. Out there. 1, 2, I want to ready and hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Met her on the mountain. 'Cause there I took her life. Met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife. Hang down your head, Tom. I kind of kept going on to some of the other parts of that song. But there's that one. Cool. Let's go on to page 35, number 2. I've been working on the railroad. We got to go from D to G. Had lots of practice here. There is a D to E7. We haven't had so much practice here. But we can use the other runs like A to E that we would use. And from E7 to A7 is going to be the same as E to A. So, and again, when you have places where you have one chord per bar, like D, G, D, G, D, A7, you might not throw them in any of those places, or you might choose to throw some in. You can just do whatever you are kind of feeling on this one. For the G chord, I think I'm going to go 6 to 4, and then a mix of high and lows for the others. Here we go. About this tempo. 1, 2, I want to ready, and I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Don't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morning. Don't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. All right, so let's go on now to page 43, number 7. Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. So remember B to B7. In some ways this one's going to be a little easier. There's a little bit more space with the chords, so we have room to change between all of them. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I went down south to see myself, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Oh, my Sally is a spunky gal, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Very well, very well, very well, my very Faye. Oh, I'm going to Louisiana for to see my Susiana, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Okay, so let's try it a little faster now. Let's try it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I went down south to see myself, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Oh, my Sally is a spunky gal, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Very well, very well, very well, my very Faye. Oh, I'm going to Louisiana for to see my Susiana, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. It's quite a trick getting all those words in there. Alright, let's move on now. We're going to go to page 48, number 4. The first time I'm going to do it, I'm going to go high to low. We'll do this one a couple times. And when you have those two, when you have the chord coming in halfway in between a measure, C to G7 to C, we won't do a run up to that G7. So like in the second line and the last line, we're just going to C to G7 to C. No runs in between those chords, but from C to that first G7 you can, and you could go right back to C if you want to on those ones, but we won't do it when the chord comes halfway in. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left. The weather it was dry. Yeah, the sun so hot it froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. 'Cause I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. We want to make that one a little trickier. You can do that little blowing, that hammer-on trick on the C and the F and the G7 chords, going up to the third, going low to high. It's going to be a lot to think about, but it's going to be kind of fun. So we're going to go about here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, with true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left. The weather it was dry. The sun so hot it froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. 'Cause I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. Kind of fun. Okay, let's go over to page 49 now, and we'll do number 7, Wabash Cannonball. We'll do it both ways again, but I'm going to first go high to low on this one. And we're going to have a couple spots again where if it's just one measure, you don't always have to insert the run, but you can if you want to. I kind of change it up just however I'm feeling in the moment. Singing, flat picking, and deciding when you want to throw in those kind of runs is a lot at once, so I just kind of do sometimes what I feel I want to do. Sometimes I don't like that. I go back next time I play it, I do it a little different. So again, F to G7 if you wanted to do one. Then you're going to use the same kind of thing that you used from D to G would work fine. So listen to the 1. We're going to go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, and listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. It's great. Let's do it faster now. Same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Okay, so this time on Wabash Cannonball, I'm going to do the hammer on and go low to high on these bass notes. Low to high. So there's for C, F, and G7. Instead of going high to low. So kind of getting that going here. Listen, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Alright, so we'll try it here. If you've got it. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roll. Riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. With a mighty rush of the engine, you lonesome old squall. Riding through the rumble on the Wabash Cannonball. Super fun. Okay, so we're going to head back to pages 90 and 91 now. We're going to head on to the next section in this lesson, which is on palm muting, slap muting, and slap strumming. So we'll see you there. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For help with other guitar playing skills, check out more of my method books and the numerous lessons available as part of my online academy here on YouTube. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.